So here we are for the second part of my build your own ESXi server. I've got my 1950 here. You'll see I've got one of the power supplies up and running, little green LEDs indicating it's got power. The second power supply is not plugged in, basically I don't have enough power sockets here. The system will run quite happily on a single power supply. You'll just get a status message on the front panel telling you that one of the power supplies is down. Got the identification light blinking. Got my keyboard and my mouse plugged in via the USB, and I've got the network connection to the DRAC, so it's important you get the right network connection. So this is the one that's right in the corner rather than the 2 gigabit NICs in the middle here. So that goes off to my gigabit switch, and the idea is using the DRAC I'll be able to boot the server up from an ISO image. So I won't need to burn any DVDs or CDs or anything. I can literally mount a virtual drive using the DRAC software and boot the system up using that. So around the front I've just got my monitor plugged in on the front panel. That's just because my cable was too short to go around the back, but you can use either front or back VGA connector. I did have a bit of an issue because my monitor here, the one I wanted to use didn't work, and then the second one I tried only had a DVI connector, so then I had to find a VGA cable and wire that all up. But we're all ready to go, so let's just power it on. It's going to get a little bit noisy, and let's see what happens. There we go. So the system's booting up. Okay, so first thing we probably want to do is go into the BIOS. So let's hit F2 and just have a look, see what we've got in the BIOS. You can see it's detected the DRAC card already. It's going to take a little while this, because it has to go through all its checks. But you can see straight away the system has got 3 GHz quad-core CPUs, 16 gigs of RAM. Here we go, so it's basically struggling to find a disk drive. There's no logical drives to find, so someone's done a good job of wiping this system, it looks like. So at some point we have to go into the RAID controller setup and define a new logical volume. But we can do all that once the DRAC's up. Oh, there we go, there's the IP address for the DRAC. Yeah, so that's the wrong IP address, we'll have to change that. Right, so we're in the BIOS. So let's just have a little look, see what we've got. So date and time look okay. It is actually 8:38 in the evening here, but I always set the BIOS to UTC, which is I'm actually 1 hour ahead of UTC at the moment, so that's good. Let's just check the memory. Okay, so you can see we've got 16 gigs. Memory test disabled, so that'll speed up the boot process. Let's check the CPUs. Okay, so you can see 3 GHz, 4 cores. Right, this is an important one. Virtualization technology enabled. So we can toggle that to disabled or disenabled. Now that needs to be enabled if you're going to run ESX. That's pretty critical. I think you can run it without that being enabled, but you'll only be able to run 32-bit software. You won't get the full 64-bit capability, and I think you'll have all sorts of other problems when you run ESX. So make sure that you've got virtualization technology enabled. And there's the 2 CPUs there. So I'm going to have 8 cores in this system. This is going to be a kick-ass box when it's running. Let's see what else we've got in here. So it's just going to boot from a CD if it finds it. So there's no booting from the network or anything. I've turned all that off. Yeah, there's no Pixie enabled either on the gigabit NICs, so that will speed up the boot process. And I don't really bothered about anything else. That's just the serial port. Yeah, okay, so that all looks okay. So what I'll do now is I'll start another video. This will take a while because what I want to do next is configure the DRAC card. So we'll do that next.